Have you ever wondered how Marcus Aurelius, one of Rome's greatest emperors, managed to maintain composure amidst chaos? It was all thanks to Stoicism. Stoicism, a school of philosophy founded in Athens by Zeno of Citium, is a practical guide that has been aiding individuals for centuries. Built on the foundation of virtue being the highest form of happiness, it focuses on distinguishing between what we can control and what we cannot, thus helping us manage our emotions and reactions. In today's fast-paced world, where stress and anxiety are all too common, Stoicism provides a much-needed anchor. Its principles encourage us to focus on the present, accept life as it comes, and remain detached from materialistic pursuits. It's not about suppressing emotions, but understanding them, and choosing how we respond. By adopting Stoic principles, you too can learn how to control your emotions effectively. Let us dive into how. The first technique is about understanding what is and isn't within your control. Imagine you're holding two boxes. In one box, you have the things you can control, your actions, your thoughts, your responses. In the other box, you have things you can't control, the weather, the traffic, other people's actions or thoughts. The Stoic philosophy advises that you focus on the first box. Now you might be thinking, but why? There are so many things outside of my control that affect my life. True, but let's delve into this a bit more. Consider the weather. You can't control whether it rains or shines, right? But you can control how you respond to it. You could complain about the rain, or you could choose to enjoy the fresh air, the sound of raindrops, or the sight of a rainbow afterward. Or take traffic, for instance. You can't control if there's a traffic jam on your way to work, but you can control how you react to it. You could let it ruin your day, or you could use it as an opportunity to listen to an audiobook, practice mindfulness, or simply enjoy a moment of quiet before the day's hustle and bustle. And what about other people's actions or thoughts? You can't control what others do or think, but you can control how you react to them. You could let their actions upset you, or you could choose to stay calm, to not let their actions dictate your emotions. This shift in focus from what's outside your control to what's within it is incredibly empowering. It reduces stress because you're no longer wasting energy on things you can't change. It increases your peace of mind because you're taking charge of your responses, your actions, your thoughts. So, the next time you find your emotions running high, ask yourself, is this within my control? If it isn't, let it go. Focus on what you can control. Once you understand this, you'll find yourself less stressed and more at peace. Before we delve into the next technique, we appreciate your presence. If these Stoic techniques resonate like this video, your help fuels our content creation journey. Subscribe and hit the bell for updates. Now let's dive into the next technique. Thank you for your support. Now let's move to the second technique, adopting an observer's perspective. This technique is akin to becoming a fly on the wall, watching events unfold without being directly involved. It's a method that allows us to step back and see situations objectively, without the clouding influence of personal bias or emotions. Imagine you're at a bustling market. There's a cacophony of noise, colors and smells. You're jostling through the crowd, trying to find the perfect fruit for your evening meal. Suddenly, someone bumps into you, causing you to drop the apples you've been carefully selecting. In the heat of the moment, it's easy to feel a surge of frustration or anger. But what if instead you took a step back and adopted an observer's perspective? You'd see a busy marketplace filled with people, all with their own thoughts, feelings and intentions. The person who bumped into you may not have done so intentionally. They might be in a hurry, they might have been distracted, or they might simply have misjudged the distance. From this perspective, it's easier to let go of the initial emotional response and approach the situation with understanding. This is a concept Marcus Aurelius often wrote about in his meditations. He emphasized the importance of viewing life objectively as an observer. By doing so, you can gain a sense of clarity and control over your emotional responses. Let's take another example. Suppose you're stuck in traffic, late for an important meeting. The immediate response might be stress or frustration, but as an observer, you'd see a city filled with people, all trying to get somewhere, just like you. You'd see the complexity of the traffic system, the weather, the timing, factors all beyond your control. Suddenly, your frustration seems less significant, doesn't it? By becoming an observer, you detach yourself from immediate emotional reactions. You're able to view situations more objectively, understand the bigger picture, and respond in a more rational, controlled manner. This technique doesn't mean ignoring or suppressing emotions, but rather understanding them from a detached perspective. It's all about seeing things as they are, not as we'd like them to be. By becoming an observer, you're able to make more rational decisions, thus controlling your emotions better. The third technique might surprise you. It's called negative visualization. Now, don't let the name throw you off. While it might sound counterintuitive or even a bit gloomy, this technique is a powerful tool for gaining perspective and fostering gratitude. Negative visualization isn't about dwelling on the dark side or becoming a pessimist. Rather, it's about contemplating potential negative outcomes to help us appreciate what we have right now. It's about understanding that the things we take for granted could be taken away from us. Imagine for a moment losing something you cherish. It could be a person, a job, or even a physical ability. How would that impact you? What would your life look like? By visualizing this scenario, we're not trying to bring it into existence. Instead, we're giving ourselves a chance to appreciate what we have while we still have it. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, a notable practitioner of Stoicism, once said, "Loss is nothing else but change, and change is nature's delight." By contemplating loss, we're preparing ourselves for change. We're building emotional resilience and flexibility. Let's delve a bit deeper. When we practice negative visualization, we're also training ourselves to manage our emotional responses better. Life is unpredictable, and things don't always go as planned. Negative visualization can serve as a rehearsal for those unexpected moments. It allows us to experience a range of emotions and navigate through them safely. Moreover, it helps us realize that many of our fears and anxieties are based on scenarios that haven't happened and may never happen. Recognizing this can free us from unnecessary worry and stress. In the end, negative visualization is about balance. It's about being prepared, not being pessimistic. It's about appreciating the present, not fearing the future. It's about understanding that challenges are part of life and that we have the ability to navigate them. Practicing negative visualization can help you maintain emotional balance even when things don't go as planned. It's a reminder that we can control our emotions, that we can choose how to respond to life's ups and downs. And that, my friends, is a powerful realization. The fourth technique to control your emotions is to reflect on the impermanence of things. Impermanence is a fundamental principle of Stoicism. It's the recognition that all things, good or bad, eventually come to an end. This is not a morbid realization, but rather a liberating one. It allows us to fully appreciate the present moment, knowing it won't last forever. Consider, for example, a beautiful sunset. Its beauty is enhanced by the fact that it's fleeting. We enjoy it while it lasts, but we don't mourn its passing. Instead, we anticipate the next sunrise. This is the Stoic approach to life and emotions. Understanding and accepting impermanence helps us manage our emotions, particularly those related to loss or change. When we lose something or someone we care about, it's natural to feel grief or sadness. But the Stoic perspective reminds us that change is a natural part of life. It's not something to be feared or resisted, but rather something to be understood and accepted. This doesn't mean we should be indifferent to loss or change. Instead, it means we should embrace them as opportunities for growth and transformation. We can learn from our experiences, adapt to new circumstances, and become stronger and wiser in the process. So the next time you find yourself overwhelmed by emotions, remember the principle of impermanence. Remind yourself that all things change, and that's okay, it's a part of life. Remember, nothing is permanent, and this too shall pass. The final technique is to practice daily reflection. Just as a mirror reflects our physical appearances, self-reflection reveals the depths of our minds. It's akin to taking a step back and reviewing the day's script of your life. In Stoicism, it's an essential tool to gain control over our emotions. Every day we experience a flurry of emotions. Some are fleeting while others linger. By reflecting daily, we can dissect these emotions, understanding their origins and how they impact our actions. It's like being a detective of your own mind, investigating the whys and hows of your emotional landscape. Imagine if you could identify patterns in your reactions. Perhaps you notice that traffic jams stir up frustration, or a specific co-worker's comments trigger anxiety. By recognizing these patterns, you can anticipate your emotional reactions and prepare to manage them better. It's about understanding your triggers and taking control of your emotional responses. Reflection also allows you to celebrate your victories. Maybe today you remained calm in a situation that would have previously incensed you. Celebrate this victory. It's proof that you're making progress in your Stoic journey. Remember, Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions, but understanding and controlling them. So, as the sun sets, take a moment to reflect on your day. What emotions did you experience? How did you react? What can you do better? There's immense power in this introspection. Through daily reflection, you can identify patterns, understand your emotional triggers, and work on controlling your emotional responses better. So, there you have it. 5 Stoic techniques to help you control your emotions. Let's take a moment to recap. Firstly, understanding what is within your control is the cornerstone of Stoicism. It's about discerning the difference between elements we can influence and those we cannot, thereby saving ourselves from unnecessary emotional turmoil. Secondly, adopting an observer's perspective allows us to detach and view our emotions as temporary states, not defining characteristics. Thirdly, practicing negative visualization helps us anticipate potential challenges, reducing the shock value and enabling us to respond rather than react. Fourthly, reflecting on impermanence reminds us that all things, good or bad, are transient. This promotes emotional resilience and reduces our fear of change. Lastly, a daily reflection practice provides a chance to review our actions and emotions, fostering self-awareness and growth. So, give these techniques a try and witness the transformation in your emotional health. Remember, mastering your emotions is mastering your life. Live stoically, live freely. Thank you for watching, and do not forget to subscribe for more enlightening content.